I'm just keeping it real.
Chris Brown was on GMA this morning, changing gears, and following his appearance, he flew into a rage.
You know what I mean?
What is your name, sir?
Situation.
Huh?
Situation.
Kanye West makes his TV debut as Kim Kardashian's boyfriend, that is.
What went wrong? I'm Sean Robinson with stunning new details on top.
Our coverage of the deadly earthquake in Haiti continues now.
Gaddafi, Libya's former leader, may have been captured or even killed.
Well, the world has been stunned by the story.
Some pretty apocalyptic scenes, particularly from Joplin here.
And the elephant in the room is people want to associate with this with something.
There is no party of fiscal responsibility. As you know, Joe, there's career politicians.
6 of the 10 9/11 commissioners question the official story.
A naked man, he was shot dead on Saturday by police because he was gnawing off another man's face.
around the world. Sources are reporting strange, even inexplicable responses to the recent rash of disaster, violence, and suffering. Under circumstances which would normally cause populations to lose hope, which would understandably cause calamity, where we often see depravity and collapse under such gravity. In spite of all the tragedy, pockets of what would have to be described as spontaneous praise are springing up in the midst of despondency. The respondents seem to see a uniquely different scene than most, from wave-ravaged coasts to war-torn outposts, From inner cities that host corruption and gang activity to famished countrysides with absolutely no proximity to clean water. While we've seen slaughter, this peculiar people from father to daughter has somehow got a motivation to praise and give, which they claim are one and the same. For further details and an eyewitness account, let's hear from our on-the-scene correspondent. What is this all about?
Pardon me if I shout. We've seen with our own eyes as the tides arise. Normal guys surmise, flight to high ground is wise. So imagine my surprise to find so many would drive to align and abide in harsh climes and hard times. More than a few who choose to refuse cues and clues from news crews, saying proofless truth like me and you. Predicting predicaments that be precisely the opposite. All of this ought to bring applause from the audience, but let's thought of the lot of us all but forget. I should reiterate the pain repeated globally. To wit, we hear of hunger and hurricanes, hailstorms and hatred, tornadoes, tsunamis, terrorists, toddlers taken. It's heartbreaking. The break-ins, the home invasions, escalated inflation. Nobody's bringing home any bacon, but some restrain others' pain instead of chasing their own dreams. Pardon me, could you explain to our viewers watching their home screens?
Now, sir, what you don't seem to perceive and understand it is not a demand for what my hands can do, but merely a drawing of a false superior member. It's hard, and all I say, all that takes place, it flows from that cause. So his worship that you see here is simply a result of an inward work in the heart by he and see, regardless of the circumstance. I tell you, I can't help but scream and shout because this love is attacked to all of my opposition, and believe me, these random acts of kindness are the consequences of his achievement. What is love if I could only speak of it? What is truth if I could only question it? What is sovereignty if I could only walk in what it accomplishes without basking in the glorious beauty of the one who establishes it for his glory and my good? You see, I was created, the very fibers of my being were intentionally interwoven together, not to respond to chaos with tragedy and tragedy with chaos, but to exude the very essence of him, and in all things taking the express train, looking and pointing in his direction.
Pardon me if I might interject, but miss, how could you praise a God who does all this? I mean, look around you as the people suffer and die. It's getting tougher, so why do you reach to an empty sky?
I have learned if I cannot counter distress and destruction with love and grace, and the catastrophe is not from without, but from within. Hence do I joyfully contend and extend to say, though the earth be removed and the mountains carried into the sea, my refuge, you see, is not of this earth, and my weakness, well, it's perfected in his power and his grace is sufficient. So I'm resting in the Lord and know my praise, it never finishes. It never finishes. No, it never finishes.
Impressive, isn't it?
Well, her passion is certainly compelling.
You question her zealotry.
Might she be slightly overselling it?
Interview subjects can prove unreliable, but from my experience, their authenticity is undeniable.
Well, thank you for your more than stellar reporting. In other news, storm warnings pour in from multiple territories. For this story, you're more.
Come on, everybody, get up on your feet and clap your hands. Come on, come on, if you got a light, turn that light on. Let's let our light shine. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Don't you know we were made to lift up the Father? Don't you know when we delight in Him, we feel His love? Don't you know He inhabits all our
Bride of Christ, raise your lights.